What is up, guys? We just watched Kinds of Kindness, the newest Yorgos Lanthimos movie, and this is certainly way different from Poor Things, so we'll have a lot to tell you in just a second.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
I'm a OD boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another iPopcorn for that review, and I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
And we're live in person.
Yes.
First time in a long time. So yeah, we just got done watching Kinds of Kindness, and tell us what Kinds of Kindness is about.
Kinds of Kindness is a triptych fable following a man without choice who tries to take control of his own life, a policeman who is alarmed that his wife, who was missing at sea, has returned and seems a different person, and a woman determined to find a specific someone with a special ability who is destined to become a prodigious spiritual leader.
Yeah, so it's certainly done in a unique way. Like you've definitely got three stories here, and they're all kind of told. It feels like complete movies. Like,
yeah,
you could see somebody. I was surprised nobody walked out at the end of like the first of the three triptychs because it gives you credits at the end of each one. And I think this is going to be a spoiler review, right? I mean, so you should, for the most part, you should watch this after you've seen the movie. And I think it's safe to. We haven't talked about it a whole lot, but I think it's safe to say we both recommend you check it out. It's certainly worth checking out if you're into unusual.
If you like Yorgos Lanthimos movies and you know what you're in for, then yeah, I could definitely see some people not really caring for this.
There's people who aren't going to like that, so you've got to like some unusual cinema. But it's not one of those things where it's like the slowest burn ever.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to like really, really test your patience. Like it is a long movie though. So, but I think it kept me entertained because it's split up into three. So I wasn't worried about the length of time. It's a recommendation for those that are going to like it. I would check out Yorgos Lanthimos' other movies maybe first and see how you feel about the guy. Poor Things is a great example. The Killing of a Sacred Deer is a great example. So yeah, I guess let's start there. I mean, how do you feel about this? Do you like it?
Yeah. So I don't think it was as good as Poor Things for me. In Poor Things
was like a masterpiece almost to me, though.
And some of this was like very reminiscent to me of watching Killing a Sacred Deer, where I'm just like, where is this going?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening? I was even thinking to myself, I wonder if any of this is based off of some Greek tragedies again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I thought they were all interesting enough. I definitely liked one more than the other two.
So how would you rank the three? So you've got, I wish I had the list in front of me with the names of all three, but you've got the first one, which is
RMF is
RMF dies, or the death of RMF, something like that. And then RMF is flying.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the last one.
I can't remember the name of the last one. I feel like it went away too quick.
I'm going to put it in post.
But I think the last one was probably my favorite of the three, and it's kind of a toss-up for the first and the second. I think maybe I liked the first one a little bit more. Just this ending of the second one's just kind of, I don't know. The second one was kind of trippy.
I mean, they're all crazy little stories, and spoilers from here on out, but like they don't really connect up. We were kind of started to talk about this and didn't finish our thought, but like they don't really link up in the way that I was maybe expecting it to. Like I thought the third one would make us realize that this is all one interconnected story, but it really can't be because it's the same actors playing different characters, so it's like. Mm-hmm. You can't really be in the same world, really. But they do have... This is what I was starting to say. So, like, the first and last one kind of have this common theme of, like, Willem Dafoe is in this situation where everybody wants to please him. And as soon as you don't please him in any way, in, like, this particular way, different ways in the two different examples, but as soon as you don't please him, you're immediately done.
Yeah. Well, real quick, which one... Is your order the same as mine?
I do think I like the third one the best.
Okay. It's probably why they did it the last.
The way they did it, yeah. Yeah, you know, it is hard. It is hard to decide between the first and second, because I did like this whole movie, and I like that it's three stories here, but it's very different for Yorgos Lanthimos, I feel like, because if you've watched his other stuff, it's all one, you know, you've got one story here. All these had to be kind of wrapped up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So even though this is a really long movie, you had to wrap it up fast. Yeah, I don't know. I was hooked right off the gate, though. Like the first one hooked me.
It's like waiting to see where this is going. And I kind of had a feeling that's what it was. But I don't know.
So, I mean, just to get into it, like, the first one is... The way you learn it is... It's kind of pieced it's like fed to you in a way where you can't really figure out what's going on. But you've got Jesse Plemons playing this character who is like,
it's almost like the Truman Show, but for one person, and
he knows he's in the Truman Show.
Yeah, he knows he's in on it.
Yeah, he just does. He has to do whatever Willem Dafoe wants him to do, down to like the minutia of his day to day. When he has sex with somebody, or what he eats and when he eats, and how much he eats, and how long his hair is, and everything is like. And I guess he's working for him too, but it's like, it's not just a boss. It's like,
yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like he necessarily did anything at the job, because he was in his office just like staring out the window. And it's like, okay, well, maybe he did. He did say he had to go to a construction site, and they're like, no, you don't. You're coming to see.
Yeah, you're coming to see him in the office, and immediately you realize that the relationship between them is really odd. And he gets Jesse Plemons' character and his wife, what's her name, Hong Chow?
Yeah.
Gets him and his wife gifts that are like expensive. It's like expensive sports things that people, and it's usually like things like, it's like a smashed Andre Agassi racket and like the helmet of, what's his name, Ayrton Senna?
Yeah, I don't know.
The helmet of a famous race car driver that's like, I'm assuming like that race car driver has died. I would assume, yeah. And like the thing is scorched with flames. So it's a weird thing that he gets them, but he showers them with all these gifts, and they can live in this amazing house. And we find out later he set them up to even get together in the first place. So he's the reason he has his wife in the first place and all this. And then the last thing that he wants him to do is essentially kill this guy with his car.
Yeah, just get into a bad car wreck.
Get into a bad enough car wreck that this guy dies, really. I mean, I don't know if he's told that, but there's some kind of deal with Margaret Qualley's character and Willem Dafoe's character in the first one where, like,
she's definitely part of it, too. Like, they're
like in cahoots with each other in some kind of way.
Well, I think she's kind of in the same situation as Jesse Plemons' character, but she's more of, like, his girlfriend or wife or something, or
yeah,
and / assistant maybe.
And so there's a lot of like real dark humor here, and my first laughs I think were from when everything goes bad with Jesse Plemons' character in the first episode, or whatever you want to call it. His wife leaves, and his kind of life is falling apart around him, even though he doesn't have to leave the house. His way of trying to like attract the new woman is the only way he knows to attract the new woman is to like act like he's been injured severely, because that was how he got his first wife. So that was really funny to me for some reason, him just being like, oh, my hand, and some woman just stepping over him, ignoring him. The second one is basically a guy
that one was very strange. Like, it made sense in the beginning and felt very normal, and that one takes like a very like paranormal kind of turn. Or,
yeah, it felt grounded in the beginning, and then it's just like a cop whose wife was on some kind of expedition. Like she's some kind of scientist that works with coral reefs and oceanographer or something like that, and she goes missing for this length of time with all the people that she's with, and she's presumed dead, and then they do find her, but there's little tiny things about her that aren't quite right, and you can't quite tell if he's just lost his mind in thinking that she's not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you, but they kind of are playing with you a little bit about what's the actual truth. Like, is he kind of just losing it, and she's the real deal, and she really did come back? And then he asks, that blew my mind.
The swinger scene? No.
Well, that was crazy too, and I got a laugh out of that too. Yeah, talk about that for a second first.
Yeah, like he has his two friends over, Margaret Qualley and I'm blanking.
Amadou Amathi.
Yeah, over for dinner, and they're kind of like consoling him. They're like, and there's good news on the horizon. They said they're hopeful. He's like, well, can we watch the video? Just like kind of watch it. He's like, well, I don't. It might be awkward. It might be awkward. It'd be awkward for us, and I don't think it'd be good for you, because who knows what's going to happen. And he finally convinces them to watch the video, and it's just all four of them fucking.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hilarious.
It makes it seem like it's going to be like some vacation footage of them that's going to be heartwarming, but maybe it's a bad idea to watch that and remind yourself of somebody that you may never see again.
How the good times were.
But it's like, no, it's like a foursome happening for a while, and everybody feels pretty awkward.
It was pretty hilarious.
It's pretty funny, yeah. It does turn out that she, I guess, is some kind of fake, but
the ending of that one was really weird to me.
They don't give you any more to it, so it's like, the way he knows she's fake is she'll do anything he asks, including like cutting off a finger
and cooking it and feeding it to him, and then the last thing he asks pretty soon after that is like, cut out your liver, and then she's just like, leg or liver, and she's like dead and had cut out her liver. And then there's a knock at the door, and she
And
comes
it's
in.
real. It's Emma Stone, and it's his
I don't
real
know.
wife.
And he was
this
getting
time.
calls the whole time, which kind of sounded like static, but also ocean waves or something.
And yeah, like that was the real
wife
calling him.
That one definitely felt more like some kind of like weird tragedy tale or something.
Well, but it also felt like, and I guess the whole thing a little bit feels like this, but not only in spirit, but it kind of felt like a little like Black Mirror-y almost,
Yeah.
or like there was something about it that was like, almost a little sci-fi element. To
Yeah.
it. And there's a lot of like, I don't know about a lot of questions unanswered, but it's like you don't get more than that. So you don't know how, in what way was she fake? How did she come? Where did she come from? Why was she?
I mean, was she even fake, or was he just having like a mental break? But like, she wouldn't just do that shit to herself. That's the thing. So yeah.
Yeah, they don't get. It's a thing you can talk about afterwards, but you're not gonna get solid answers about a lot of this.
Right.
And then same thing with the last one, which is I was having a hard time figuring out the relationship at first. I don't know about you.
With Jesse Plemons and.
Yeah, I'm like,
so?
are they just like? I guess they're just coworkers, but it's
Yeah.
Like they definitely don't seem like a married couple. But it's
Oh, I
like,
mean, I got cult straight off the bat. Basically, when they were doing the stuff with Hunter Schafer, I was like, oh, they're like part of a cult trying to find somebody.
yeah, they're in this weird cult trying to find a particular person, and they don't really know who they're looking for. They
They just have
know
like some particular details. Like they were a twin. Their twin is dead. I guess their nipples are this far away from their belly button.
Yeah, or like it's like a perfect isosceles triangle, because they were
yeah.
trying to make a triangle with, with nipple. I laughed like the second or third time that came up. I was like, man, the nipple thing is weird, but everything's got to be just so, and then that person can like heal people, and maybe to the full extent. It seems like they don't know for sure, but maybe to the full extent of being able to bring people back from the dead.
Well, I mean, we're in spoilers. She did bring somebody back from the dead.
But it seems like they don't know for sure that that's going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're testing it to see if that could work on this person.
Well, I think that was the whole thing, is that's one of the things, and like the person is supposed to be able to do, and then they finally get her, and she does do it.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, I mean, at this point, it's worth noting that, like, the same guy who is, I keep forgetting the initials, RMF.
RMF, yeah.
The same guy, RMF, is in all three, and that's the person that she is able to raise in the last one, and it's the person who is killed in the first one.
Right, that's true.
So that is one way that they link up the most, I guess. Is that
So maybe he is like an over.
he's like the arc.
What is he in the second one though? I don't remember him in the second one.
Oh, I thought I knew, and now I'm forgetting in the
Shit.
moment. He was in all three though, for
Yeah.
sure. But he didn't seem like he was a really important character in the second one.
Yeah.
But the other thing worth mentioning about the third one is that they're in this cult led by Willem Dafoe. I think it's Willem Dafoe and Hong Chow.
Yeah.
And it's something about it's like a water cult. And they have to I'll tell you, but I mean, at first you don't know what it is. They have this special water that they drink, and they carry around like these big jugs of this water, and they only drink that. So like, it's like, we're about to be out of water. Like, I'm thirsty, I gotta have some of that water. Like, you can't drink, we're not drinking tap water. And they have some kind of thing with fish.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't eat fish.
She won't eat fish, and she's like, at the hotel ordering food, she's like, we have fish or burgers or whatever, and she's like, no, I don't eat fish, and it's none of my business, but I strongly recommend you don't get anywhere near fish either, and you stop serving it altogether. And it's like, so there's something about fish, but you're wondering what the special water's about, and then there's like a woman, and it's like a sex cult, so like the two leaders.
You can only sleep with the leaders.
Yeah, you can only sleep with the leaders, and if you were to have sex with somebody else, you have to like go into a sweat lodge or a sauna and sweat it out, and then they have to test you. Hong Chow has to lick you and taste your sweat and see if you've been detoxified of this impurity
you're
or
still
not.
Contaminated.
And she decides if you're contaminated or not. And so like you see that work out for somebody. Like, she does pass the test and she's decontaminated. But Emma Stone's character, something happens to her that I can barely talk about on YouTube.
Essayed, basically.
Yeah, she's essayed by her husband or ex-husband. You don't get a full story, but it seems like there's a reason she's left her husband more so than left her daughter.
Well, I think it's she left because of the cult, basically.
She left because of the cult, but I wonder if like something was going on with her and her husband that made her more susceptible to being willing to leave in the first place. But maybe nothing bad happened until the cult thing and then her coming back. But yeah, she's essayed by her husband, and then when they find out about it, it's like they're like on it. because they're like
Yeah.
right outside the house.
I'm guessing Jesse Plemons turned her in because like she does go back at one point and drops off some shoes for her daughter after they're gone, and then Jesse Plemons is like, he's not with her at the time, but when he meets back up, he says something along the lines of, I don't care if you want to go see your daughter and your husband. I won't tell anybody.
Right.
And then I think he definitely did tell, told them,
yeah,
later.
But they're right there, and then she doesn't pass the test, and she's kicked out. And I thought this was kind of, I'm glad it wasn't, but kind of the end of the movie was just going to be her like begging to be let back in.
Yeah.
And that was going to be the end.
I think the ending was great.
Yeah.
For that one.
Yeah, well, yeah. So go tell what happens after that. So she's begging to be let back in, and then.
Well, she goes and finds Margaret Qualley, and like she is the Messiah or the Savior or whatever, and
meets her identical twin sister first, but yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually it leads to her kidnapping her, doing the test, and she revives her, and it ends basically she's driving back to the compound to get her redemption and let back in the cult, and then she's reaching for some water and swerves, misses. Hits a fucking
overcorrects.
Boat, overcorrects, and then the Savior just goes flying through the windshield and dies.
Mm-hmm. And she lives. It
Emma
seems
Stone
like Emma
lives,
Stone's
yeah,
character
she's
is going to
fine.
be fine. Yeah. And it just ends with like a teardrop rolling down Margaret Qualley's eye.
Yeah.
And the other thing that kind of, I wasn't even thinking about this, but like it kind of built up to it the whole time in that third segment, is that she drives like a bat out of hell only. Yeah. Like she just drives this purple, what is it, like a Mustang or something?
A Challenger, yeah.
Challenger. She drives this purple Challenger exclusively like a bat out of hell. Like on back roads and everywhere she goes.
In parking lots, she's like drifting into parking spaces and shit.
Yeah, every park job is a drift. And I thought that made for a funny time. And I was thinking the whole time, like there's a scene that's in every trailer for this that I've seen where she's dancing in this suit that she's wearing right now, and I was like, how are they going to work a dance scene into this?
Yeah.
But she finds this savior is real and can raise people from the dead, and so it's just like her little victory dance.
I did think for a second that I was waiting for it to happen, that sex scene with Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to show it. I thought they were going to show his hog, and that we didn't get it. I was like, it's too intimidating.
They really did like a full blown close up on them making out, and that was pretty
much.
Gross.
Yeah,
yeah. And so the other thing I want to talk about too is the score, the soundtrack, comedy. So I liked that it opened with the Eurythmics and everything, but the score is interesting.
No.
Yeah, so there's two main things that you get, which is like out of tune, poorly played piano, like intentionally badly played piano, and I think it starts right after Margaret Qualley's character in the first one says something about like, I'm gonna go practice piano, but I'm like really bad, and I'm out of practice and everything, and then it's like the music starts, and it carries on through really all three vignettes, but it makes it where it's like they use these hard piano notes or big piano notes, slamming their hands on the piano as like punctuation points of things crazy that are happening in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was cool. I mean, it can be a little irritating to listen to like badly played piano for this long.
Yeah, but the way
it works
they
for
used it,
it made it all feel very off kilter and everything. And then the other thing was like the no.
Yeah, it was like some kind of
no
chorus of people
saying no. Yeah, so the score, as weird as it is, it wouldn't hold up if you wouldn't want to listen to this by itself. But the score, I think, accentuated this movie a lot too. Yeah. So, what would you score this thing?
Man, so I mean, I liked it, I did, but I think it was more of a slow burn for like the first two for sure. I'll probably give it like a 7. I'm going a little low, probably lower than you. Like I did, I did like it quite a bit, but like I definitely didn't enjoy it near as much as Poor Things.
Right. Yeah, I certainly didn't either. And it's hard to score it, and like in my mind, I want to compare it to other Yorgos Lanthimos movies, but I kind of just got to score it based on my enjoyment across the board out of all movies, and I did really enjoy it. I found it really unique. I felt like it was one of the few movies from 2024 that really was like captivating and unique and interesting, and we've had a few other ones, not to say that, but this is one of my favorites of the year at the moment. So I'm going high. I'm gonna say 9. I would have gone even higher than that probably, because Yorgos Lanthimos is just like, there's something, I just jive with that style of movie making a lot, but they're not all equal. I didn't enjoy them all equally.
Yeah.
So like I probably would give the third segment like a 9.5.
Right. Yeah.
But And it's not the first two are bad, but they weren't at the level of the third one. So once you see the third one, it's like you realize the first two
I guess
weren't
I'm
quite up to
having to average it out of the 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Because the third one I would go definitely higher.
Mm-hmm. So definitely a big recommendation for me. If you watch any of our videos and you like the kind of things we like, this is probably something that you should check out and see where you're at with it. So yeah, we appreciate you watching, guys, and we'll have another video out very shortly. Like this video, that helps us out a whole lot, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.